Buenas tardes chicos, soy profe Young. Aquí estamos con el video para el presente progresivo. You guys know this as the progressive tense or the present progressive. And a good way to remember this is just to think of things that are happening in progress. That's the idea of progressive. Okay? Let's talk about it. So I've copied and pasted on here a little explanation of what this is in English and then how we might do it in Spanish. So just a few things, just mark this up a little bit. The present progressive is formed by combining the verb to be with the present participle. It sounds like a lot of grammar stuff, doesn't it? Present participle is merely the ing form of a verb, so that makes it more simple. So in English we have one part which is the to be, which is I am, and one part which is the present participle, which is the verb plus ing. An example would be I am studying with Maria. In English, the present progressive can be used to describe what is happening now or what will happen in the future. I'm studying now. I'm studying with Maria tonight. In Spanish, it's only used for an action that's in the process of taking place. It's occurring right at this moment, not for the future. Okay. To form the present progressive in Spanish, you got to use, and this is where it's really important that you make sure you know this, estar. Okay, with the present participle. Okay, so their example is some form of estar, which is estoy, and then they formed the participle out of the verb hablar by putting hablando. We'll talk about how to do that. Same thing here with comer. Comer, we have a form of estar, and we have comiendo. Okay, we have a form of estar, and we have the verb escribiendo. So how do we actually form it? Let's talk about it. So first we got to know how to do the verb estar, don't we? Right? So we've got yo estoy, tú estás, él or ella or usted está. Make sure you take a look at where those accent marks are there too. Nosotros estamos, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes, están. Okay? So that's the first step. Must have this step, or else we're just going to be like, I playing soccer, I learning Spanish. Okay, in which case we'll sound like dodos. Okay, so we want to make sure that we have some form of the verb estar. Next we have the participio, and in Spanish you have different ways for AR, ER, and IR verbs. So AR verbs, okay, you're going to take off the AR and you're going to put on ando. An example would be hablar. Okay, take off the AR and you stick on ando. So ER and IR, you take it off and you put on yendo. So example would be comer, take off the ER and put on yendo, comiendo. So you gotta put it all together, right? Oh, before we get to weird verbs, let's try and put it all together. You know, let's do weird verbs and then we'll come back to that. So there are some weird ones, okay, that don't follow the pattern so well. That dormir goes to durmiendo. You can see where the change happened. It should be dormiendo usually, but that U is where it's different. Decir, which is one of our words, which means to say, should be with that E, but it goes to that I, so that's where that's different. And leer should do I-E-N-D-O, but because in Spanish we have this weird E-I-E thing going on, we change it to a Y, we make that's where that's different, leyendo. And ir goes to yendo instead of I-E-N-D-O. Okay, so there's some weird ones. So putting it all together, if I want to say I am speaking, I would say yo estoy hablando. I have to have both pieces, the form of estar and the verb in the present participle. If I want to say he is writing, I'd say él está escribiendo. And if I wanted to say we are eating, I would say nosotros estamos comiendo. Okay, so this is a short video to help you see this. For some of you it might be new, but for many of you I hope it's review. Ojalá que les haya gustado, que les ayude a formar frases un poco más complejas. I'll see you guys in class tomorrow. Nos veremos mañana y gracias por escuchar. Hasta luego.